First, the starting lineups for the visiting Ogden International Owls. First off, we have number 0, Adrian Bolton. Next, we have number 5, Deshaun Perry. Next up, number 3, Alante Reynolds. Next up, number 2, Andre Bonham. And lastly, number 1, Tadan Wright. Their head coach is Christopher Van Dyke. And now the starting lineup for your Northside Mustangs! We have an all-senior lineup today. First off, starting at point guard, senior number 0, Esteban Vargas. Next off, another senior, number 10, Owen Amir Osman. Next up, we have everyone's number 11, Steven Tran. Next up, number 4, John Brody. And last but not least, number 24, Derek David. The team is head coached by Matthew Rollins. Thank you. Remember, IHSA rules, no trash talking, nothing like that. Keep it safe, guys. Thank you.
All right, we are underway here. It is Ogden versus Northside on senior day for the Northside Mustangs. We have a pretty full crowd here. Thank you for joining us tonight as an early rejection by Esteban Vargas and Northside get the defense started off pretty nicely here with a block by Esteban. Ogden keep the ball though, and they're going to inbound. Perry inbound and a 3 there for Alante Reynolds, and Ogden get off to a pretty fast offensive start. Arjamon for the immediate answer, not quite, a little bit off, and Ogden managed to rebound. This game is just underway here, 30 seconds in or so, and Ogden has the lead 3-0 right now. Here's Perry. Perry looking for Reynolds. Reynolds into the lane, and he can't hit the layup. Contested rebound, they're going to call a foul. I think they're going to say over the back there, and so Ogden will keep possession once again. Thanks for joining us here. I'm Ellis Corda. I'm joined by Pearson Strandquist.
And yeah, Ellis, obviously this is an exciting game for the seniors. It's basically almost the last hurrah. Obviously they have a game on Monday at 7 for IHSA playoffs, but for them, this is almost like their last big game besides that. And so obviously with their senior day, obviously all these guys want to show up and show out. It's unfortunate that Kevin Adu obviously is out with concussion protocol, but it's still good that he was able to come and be here and celebrate with the rest of the guys. And I think this starting lineup for Northside is very balanced. It's a lineup we've seen a lot, so hopefully they can continue playing their homework, good defense, good rebounding, and that's going to be key.
As here comes Esteban Vargas driving, can't quite get the layup, and it's blocked. They're going to call a shooting foul, though, and Esteban Vargas will get to go to the line and a chance to score Northside's first points of the night.
Yeah, obviously here today, Ellis, we have a 3-referee team. Usually we only have 2. He's right there. I think a lot of the calls that may have been missed in past games won't be with this much larger referee team.
And Esteban Vargas will shoot 2 here.
And yeah, SD has been really key for Northside in terms of he's really grown throughout this season. He's basically coming and starting almost every other game at this point. Also, just coming off the bench is basically their sixth man. He's really like transformed into someone that's super key for them as he obviously makes both free throws there.
And I mean, his defense has really transformed them because obviously defense was a really big issue early in the season, and they've kind of gotten that corrected in large part thanks to him.
Yeah, for sure. And also, I mean, when he's in his rhythm, I mean, he's pure from three as well. So I mean, I think he has a lot of great strengths, and it's really good to see him starting this game and placing a boot.
And the jumper there was air ball. Deshaun Perry couldn't hit it. Tran trying to stretch the floor to Vargas. Vargas for three. In and out. Tran with the rebound. Couldn't quite go. And Northside couldn't quite get a score there.
I thought that might have been a right, like me just calling that. Unfortunately, it didn't happen, but I mean, good shot either way.
And Perry throws it away. Northside get the ball right back here.
Also, I'd like to shout out, I don't know if you can see it on the broadcast, but on that left side of your screen, Northside has installed a brand new scoreboard. You don't see it right now, but when we pan the other way, you'll probably see a new scoreboard. Now it has numbers, lineups, everything like that. So a nice new addition to the gym. That's a nice donation by friends of Northside.
Absolutely. I think it's the first time we've seen this in one of the games this year, so good to see that there. As they're going to inbound there, it's Deshaun Perry. Perry seems to be their primary inbounder. And Alante Reynolds will bring the ball up. Alante Reynolds, or no, apologies, that's Andre Bottom. Andre Bottom here is their point guard. Northside playing some good defense so far. They're giving Ogden some problems.
I think that's Anshawn Bolton.
And yet another turnover, but Northside give it right back. Nice little spin move into the lane and the finish. That was a pretty play right there from Antron Bolton.
Yeah. I mean, he's definitely the key. He's their field general. Just another one just out.
Vargas tries again, can't hit it that time.
Oh, and a steal from Vargas. Good play there.
Trent can't hit.
Another rebound for Vargas. And, I mean, not all these shots are hitting from Northside, but Vargas is playing like a really good hustle game. I mean, to get a steal and then get that rebound again, he's probably the player who's putting the most effort right now on the court.
Absolutely, Pearson is.
I think that's going to be a foul on Derek David there.
Yeah, that's Derek David's first, and Ogden will go back to the line for two. This is going to be Antron Bolton.
And yeah, again, as we kind of predicted, Bolton's going to be their key player for this Ogden team. Obviously, we don't see much of Ogden usually because they're in the Whites West Conference. So obviously, like the conference layout of CPS, there's red, white, and blue. Red being the top, blue being the bottom. But then within there's divisions that are north, west, and south. Northside's in the west, or the north division, sorry. And so they don't see much of the west opponents at all, despite being in the same conference.
And that second free throw misses, so Bolton goes 0 for 2 there. Derek David for three, in and out. These threes just won't fall for Northside, but you have to imagine once these do start falling, they're definitely going to score in a hurry.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've seen in past games that side is, I don't know if it's just the rim, something to do with that, but I mean, it's much less forgiving.
And that one is going to find the net there, and it's 7-2 Ogden. So obviously this is going to be a tough test. Even though Ogden have struggled here in the White Conference, you could make the argument that the White West is a little bit stronger than the White North, which Northside play in.
Yeah, for sure. And obviously, again, Northside won that conference. They'll be moving up to the Red Conference next year, so Ogden probably won't be someone they see all year next year. So this is kind of like a key win for them in the sense that they kind of just want to come off with a note where they won't be playing them for a while, and they want to just come out and win.
And so Northside's upcoming schedule, they play North Chicago on Monday. So that's going to be a playoff or a play-in game to get into the IHSA playoffs. And if they win that, then that's going to be at 7. 7 on Monday at Northside. And so if they win that game, then they're going to play the number 2 seed in all of the state playoffs. That was Wake Forest. Or Lake Forest.
Lake Forest, yeah. Wake Forest is where John Brody's gone to college, actually. So, I mean, you're kind of right in that sense. That's going to be number 4 coming in. That's Luis Leon.
Coming out is Deshaun Perry.
Yeah. Also note that there are a couple players here, number 13 and number 1, who we don't have last names for. They just weren't provided by the coach.
As Jacob Wasso is going to check into the game, as Ron Vargas checks out.
So we're just going to treat that as their name. So for that, number 1 is going to be Tidari, and number 13 is going to be Turman.
And number 11 will be Colby.
Yeah, indeed.
Here's Luis Leon.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what Leon does here. I believe he's their key underclassman based on some stats that we saw. So obviously they're going to hope to get him some minutes. He's their sixth man.
He's a sophomore?
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously varsity games we often see are pretty dominated by upperclassmen. So always good to see some underclassmen getting some minutes and being impactful. Northside are going to need to control them driving into the lane here. I mean, they've allowed a lot of that. That seems to be Ogden's primary way of scoring.
Good drive by Amir Arjun right there.
Yeah, I want Amir Arjun, a nice finish and some good core vision there by Jacob Wasilou.
Yeah, and so with this, I believe that there was kind of some confusion on who's playing what. I mean, Northside kind of plays a very fluid lineup where there's no real one position or the other. And that shot over Jacob Wasilou is good. I think that was Luis Leon, like we talked about.
And a foul here called on Alonte Reynolds. Reynolds playing some tight defense there on Stephen Tran. They're definitely focusing on trying to neutralize Stephen Tran so far. He's been very quiet.
Yeah, and we didn't mention, but Esteban Vargas came out for Jacob Wasilou. Probably, I mean, he was putting the most effort in. Obviously, he's maybe a little bit tired.
But it's definitely interesting to see how fluid Northside is compared to a defensive Ogden that's a lot more of focusing on staying in one place, I think.
Oh, that's just off from Stephen. Oh, good rebound there from John Brody, and he gets the finish.
Northside here have a significant height advantage, so that's why we've seen these offensive rebounds turn into a really major problem already for Ogden because they don't really have a big man that they're playing right now.
Yeah, I mean, I would say, honestly, Alex, obviously Northside's identity is defense and winning on the glass. If they can continue to do that today, they'll be right back into this game, and they'll be, especially because it's a lot of times on the offensive end, which is even more important and honestly even more rare. So it's good to see them continuing to do that against this Ogden team.
Derek Davis stretching the floor. Tran and to Wasilou. Wasilou's going to be fouled.
And yeah, we haven't seen much of Jacob Wasilou this year, at least in terms of the first few quarters. Usually comes in around the fourth. But either way, I mean, he's a key senior leader, obviously. I say that redundantly, obviously we have a senior leaders program here, but it's good to see him getting some minutes here. He's been a contributor off the bench, and his first free throw is just a bit off.
Yeah. Northside trailing 6-10 here as we near the end of the quarter. It's been pretty low scoring from Northside's perspective, but they've definitely had the opportunity. They just got to get these shots to fall. And
Tadari and Bolton, their two guard pair that started the game, are coming off in favor of Deshaun Perry and Maseka Wars.
Wasilou's second free throw is clean, and Jacob Wasilou scores his first point of senior night. So good to see him get on the score sheet.
Yeah, and it's good to see that they're kind of spreading the floor, giving each of the seniors a chance to get that bucket that they want. And also, we'd like to shout out, obviously, it's also the cheer team senior day. Obviously, the girls' game we had a week ago or so. That was Palms, which is different than the cheer team. Both are coached by Miss Mulligan, I believe.
Leon with a tough layup into the lane. A nice finish there over and around Jacob Wasilou. Wasilou wide open layup, and he hits it. 3 points now for Jacob Wasilou. And I mean, the Ogden defense just collapsed there. You see some frustration over there on the sideline by, I think that's number 5, Deshaun Perry. He's frustrated.
Yeah, and I would say they're playing good defense, so it's really hard for Ogden to do anything. They have to take. That was actually a good play there, but he got an open shot. But again,
David, nice pass.
Yeah, again, it's just the pressure there. It's hard to handle.
I mean, this Northside have just exploited them by going fast here because obviously Ogden, their defense seems to rely on Northside really slowing down, and Northside just have the tools to really push tempo.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of, again, we talked about identity earlier. That's the key for Northside. We talked about defensively on rebounding, but it's also to play a fast game, especially when they have going against smaller teams. It's kind of the opposite when they're going against teams they don't have the size. But they're definitely going to be taking advantage of the size advantage here, especially with all their senior stars who are all tall guys. As he had 30 seconds left.
And a shooting foul. John Brody gets called for the foul. Haven't seen a whole lot from John Brody yet this game, but obviously he'll look to get a little bit more involved here. He's definitely had a season to remember, Pearson.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, obviously the main thing that everyone remembers, they talked about, and Jaden talked about in his senior day speech, but was that buzzer beater. Obviously you were on the call for that. It was kind of like an iconic moment both for the team and for NCP TV.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's probably one of the highlights of the year for this team. I mean, obviously nothing beat winning conference, but I mean, it definitely feels good going against a much higher ranked team like Northridge and coming out and showing that they can hang up with the big guys. As the first free throw, it's no good there.
Good to see the crowd getting into it too. Obviously, this season a lot of the crowds haven't been super packed, so good to see a full house and the fans making some noise.
Yeah, for sure.
What kind of impact can the fans have on the game for Northside, do you think?
I mean, we saw in the girls' game, right? I mean, the fans got into it, and they almost got right back into that one. So I'd say overall, I mean, the guys have had a really pretty good showing overall in terms of people coming to the games. It's much more today, obviously, for senior night. But honestly, I think they just use that as fuel. I mean, we've seen, like, Owen and Arjumand especially. We talked about Esteban Vargas earlier, kind of, like, outwardly showing that kind of grit. And you see it there from Owen. And again, I think they just called travel there on Deshaun.
I think they said he stepped out of bounds, actually.
Oh, even better. But yeah, I mean, Owen Arjumand kind of brings that energy almost. You always see him like slapping the ground when he's playing defense, and I feel like the fans just feed into that even more.
It's Derek David gives it to Charlie Fisher. Our first look at Charlie Fisher. Derek David heaves a three, tried to beat the buzzer, and it wouldn't go. So at the end of the first quarter, it is 13-11, Ogden lead, a closely fought first quarter. We'll be right back after this. You're watching NCB TV. And we're back here on NCB TV. I'm Ellis Corda.
And I'm Pearson Strandquist. And yeah, I mean, we during that little short break, Ellis and I were talking about, we heard Coach Rollins telling the team about how they just need to prevent Ogden from driving to the lane. That seems like basically their only effective offense. I mean, obviously they were chucking up some threes at a low percentage, at a low chip. So I'd say, honestly, Coach Rollins is right. I mean, the guys, if they can limit these drives, I mean, they have been. They've still been playing good defense, and that's why there's like still a close game. But if they can just make sure those drives can't even happen, then they will be forcing up bad shots that Ogden can't take.
Yeah, I mean, Ogden, in terms of their outside shots, they hit that three right at the beginning of the game, but besides that, they didn't have anything from the outside. So they're going to try to make Ogden prove that they can score, which they haven't been able to do yet. Wasalu couldn't quite get it to fall. He's having a pretty nice game, though, so far, 3 points.
Yeah, I mean, we're looking for still, usually there's someone who kind of comes and stand out. I mean, a lot of times, that's for Northside, that's been Stephen Tran. Obviously, he's their main key player. But I'd say, I mean, for this game, we're still kind of waiting to see who that player will be. And it's going to be interesting with all these seniors who kind of, it's not really coming out on top, but more so just like who takes the lead here today.
All right, we apologize if there is an audio delay. Unfortunately, we're having some technical difficulties as Owen and Arjumand hit the layup.
But yeah, I mean, I think the picture is 1-to-1 live, and that was a good shot there for Ogden. But yeah, I mean, the pictures is 1-to-1 live, so if you're watching this, even if you're hearing this after the fact, the video feed is completely live, so you're still watching it live. It's just that maybe the commentary will come in a little bit later.
Corner three now. Oh, he got hit. No foul call. Very surprising there. But got his own rebound. Impressive hustle. And Ogden come away with the ball. Driving, and I think it's going to be somebody's ball.
Yeah, I think they're going to call... It's unclear what the call is.
Yeah, it's not really
I mean,
clear.
I think we're not the only ones having technical difficulties here. The scoreboard just went out. Something with the cable, I believe. But it could be a similar problem. But yeah, either way.
It sounds like their outlet might be broken, so not good for Northside if that scoreboard gets reset. So we're gonna have a little bit of a stoppage here.
Never mind. We got it back up.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, so 7 minutes left still. Oh,
And it's out
I
again.
spoke too soon.
Let's see if they can turn on the scoreboard now. They've replugged it in. I think the scoreboard lights just went back on, like in the booth, but
So
I'm not
now
sure
we're just
if
waiting for.
the scoreboard up top. And it's back, and it looks like it's going to work out okay. The points might... I can't tell if the points are right.
Yeah, the points are. Oh, it just went out again. Oh, now we're back. Yeah, so 15-13 is correct. Like we said, sorry about the audio delay. There's nothing we can really do about that at this point. But like we reiterated, it's going to be Ogden's ball.
And hopefully that audio delay works itself out. So Ogden are going to inbound. Pearson, during that stoppage, what do you think the coaches were telling their teams?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a weird type of, and that's going to be reach and foul against
Steven Tran.
Yeah, Steven Tran. But yeah, I mean, I think for Ogden's side, I mean, they just saw that, like, I think they kind of know that Northside's kind of playing a more heavy defense in the key, so they just shot that mid-range shot, which was their first bucket of the quarter. So I'd say it could be interesting to see if Ogden kind of goes for a more like less drivey approach, more so getting open shots. For Northside, I mean, obviously Charlie Fisher came in, so it's just going to be making sure that they still gel on defense. And then like we kind of talked about, it's going to be really important to see who kind of steps up. Good pass there from Charlie Fisher, but just out of reach. Yeah, so it's going to be who can step out of these seniors, who's going to be the one who kind of takes control of this game.
And a lot of turnovers here. And Tran will give it back to Fisher. Fisher looks to Derek David for three, and it's off the mark. Derek David's shooting has been a little bit less than what we're used to seeing from him so far tonight, but hopefully he can get that worked out quickly.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of unfortunate. Obviously, it's kind of like an under rule in basketball, almost like either getting the shot clock or the buzzer beater. A lot of times guys will shoot after the buzzer to not let it hurt their shot percentage, but it's good to see that Brody's not taking any chances, especially down.
And John Brody and Odemir will check back in. So they're definitely going to go to some small ball as Waslu and Fisher are checking out.
Yeah, so
and small ball has worked for them this season.
Yeah, so we're back to the starters. Vargas, Tran, Odemir Arjamont, John Brody, and Derek David. So we're going to see. I mean, I think we also kind of need to see Steven Tran kind of get into it a little bit. Because he's also felt a little bit off this game. As John Brody will get the inbound.
Yeah, Northside have so far lacked somebody who's really kind of taken the game into their own hands and really worked on trying to put up some points quickly on the board.
Yeah, for sure. The other thing that maybe affects this, obviously, Steven Tran, as well as myself, are Nissan Hakbang, Northside's Filipino club, and there's Battle of the Bamboo tomorrow, which we're basically practicing right before this game, so that could have an impact. Or at least explain things.
As Tran now with the ball at the top of the key. Tran, back to Derek David, another three. That one goes out. So Derek David now is 0 for 4 from the three-point line. So not the stat that he would have hoped for, but
yeah, I mean,
0 for 5 actually.
Yeah, they get the rhythm. It's all about rhythm for Northside. Once they get in that rhythm, it's going to be a lot smoother, a lot better. Good defense there from John Brody to get that steal.
And here's Steven Tran trying to push tempo to Vargas. Vargas thought about the three, back to Tran. Derek David, finally he hits one and he's 1 for 6 now, but Northside get those 3 points they surely needed.
And yeah, I think that's the rhythm they kind of need to start to get. They start hitting buckets. They're down by 1 now. It's 5.5 minutes left. So, I mean, I think they're good. Fairly easy to be some good drawbacks here in terms of just getting right back into this one if they get in that rhythm.
For 3 now, and Ogden can't find a response.
Yeah, and the defensive miscommunication didn't end up coming back to bite them there.
A 3 for Arjamon, and he hits it. Northside now with the lead. It looks like they gave the points to the wrong team, I think, because it should be 19-17. And they've corrected that.
Yep, they just pressed the wrong button, and I believe they called backcourt violation right there.
Yep. We have not seen that yet this season, but a big call there as Northside are going to get the ball right back. So a chance to extend their lead, their first one of the day as well.
Yeah, for sure, Ellis. I mean, it's good to see. I mean, I kind of talked about they just need to get in that rhythm. It seems like they kind of got 2 threes in a row. Even if that streak doesn't continue, just getting that on the board is going to be really important for this team.
And it's going to be another turnover. Northside's turnovers have really been their biggest issue today, I think.
Yeah, I think going into half, that's definitely what Coach. I mean, we still have 4.5 minutes left or so, but I mean, Coach Rollins is probably definitely going to try to tell them to limit turnovers more than anything, because honestly, that's really the only reason why Ogden, with their low shooting percentage, is still in this one.
For sure. Ogden still not bringing the ball up very quickly, so we'll see if they get another backcourt. They're going to avoid that this time, but they're going to try to look for something.
It was an 8-second call?
I think so.
My bad. Yeah, so there's a differentiation there. Backcourt violations when you step behind the line after going forward versus 8 seconds. You have 8 seconds from the inbound to get across.
Amir Arjman, a little corner jumper in and out, and rebounded by Ogden, and a foul on Amir Arjman.
Yeah, I mean, still, that's the type of thing. Good hustle energy, like we talked about having Vargas today. They're gonna have to lead the way if a player can't like step up in terms of offensively, just leading the way on defense and with that grit and energy. That's still gonna have the same effect.
And Ogden will bring the ball right back. Reynolds with the ball now for the Ogden Owls. Reynolds into the lane, fouled by Derek David, and he'll be going to the line to shoot 2. Reynolds, so earlier in this game, was a little bit frustrated with how his team was performing and has tried to really pace them here. They have lost the lead, but still in a decent position as it's very close with Northside. And we're going to be seeing number 11 coming into the game for the first time. That is Colby. First free throw is off for Alante Reynolds.
And yeah, we can kind of see how, I mean, the crowd can impact both ways. Right there, a little bit of a scream or shout there on the free throw, and it impacted his shot for sure.
And here's the second free throw for Reynolds. He got this one, so Reynolds goes 1 for 2, but you'll take that if you're Northside, 1 for 2 free throw shooting, especially given how they've been able to score a little bit more lately. Derek David drains the jumper.
Yeah, there you go. That's what we'd like to see. I mean, maybe you just need to get a little bit closer.
As Ogden looked to push tempo, give it to Perry. Perry couldn't finish, and Tran gets the rebound.
21-20.
Brody now for 3. Not quite. Rebounded by Tran. Tran back to Derek David, and he airballs his 3. Amir Arjman, they're keeping this play alive. Tran makes the defender miss and couldn't hit this 3-point shot. So Northside, Ogden finally coming away with the ball. Northside with a lot of opportunities there. Just some subpar shooting by their standards tonight. And the layup is good there for Colby. And Ogden's bench is trying to get into this game, trying to maybe mix up some communication for the Mustangs. Derek David goes inside. There's John Brody. Brody now looking for help. Back to Derek David. Derek David, jumper, not quite. He's had a rough shooting day so far. He's definitely attempted the bulk of Northside's shots. And
yeah, I believe the score, they just decided to make it 21-20. That's a little bit of an oversight error from the scoreboard people, but they literally just said they didn't care. So
what is the score?
It should have been, I believe, 23-22 Northside, but they just didn't give either team those points, so I guess they just will not count on the official record.
And a hard foul on it, and 1. Quite the finish there.
Yeah,
nice finish for Alante Reynolds, as he got fouled hard, but still managed to come up with the shot. Reynolds has definitely been their best player tonight.
Yeah, for sure, Ellis. I'd say Alante Reynolds led the way. We talked about him a little bit earlier. Originally, we thought it could be Anshawn Bolden, but he hasn't actually gotten as many minutes as we thought he would. Yeah, Alante Reynolds is their key player, already in double digits, and now it's points.
Northside have the ball here with 2 minutes and 34 seconds left. In the half, they trail by 2 points to Ogden here. And John Brody is going to inbound. Here's Derek David now. David. So Derek David is often up at the top of the key. He definitely shoots more threes than a lot of players on the team. But tonight we've definitely seen him outside more than usual. Usually we see him kind of go inside the paint a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I guess their strategy here is just if if Reynolds leading the way for Ogden is just their plan is just to drive the lane, I mean, eventually mathematically threes are worth more than 2. So I think Coach Reynolds' plan of the team is just to try to get on the board with threes, because eventually that will force Ogden to start taking more shots versus layups, and that could impact their offensive performance.
Into the lane, nice rebound there, and this wouldn't fall. Really tough rebound there.
Good rebound there by Esteban Vargas. Yeah,
he got nudged in the air, but he still managed to hold on to it. Brody for 3, he hits it. John Brody with the response. Northside take the lead right back.
And yeah, so officially we're just gonna go 24-23. Those 4 points are just gonna go in the ghost, I guess. But regardless, there's no hard feelings or anything. Northside will take the lead.
As Matthew Sterniak is going to come into the game. I think that was Steven Tran's 3rd foul. So that's big, because 5 fouls and you foul out. So that's Steven Tran being in foul trouble could be a huge issue for Northside.
Yeah, I mean, Steven Tran obviously leads the way for this team. We kind of talked about that. He was a little bit off today. Honestly, I just think it could just be a tired thing. He just looks a little bit out of it, I guess. But we just hopefully it's nothing too serious. It's nothing physical, and it's more so just he's just not feeling his shot today.
For sure, they'll definitely want him to be back to his usual self by the time that playoff game on Monday night rolls around. But obviously for such a low stakes game, it doesn't matter too much. But Northside definitely want to win this to go into playoffs with some momentum.
Yeah, and Matthew Sterniak checking in. He's the first non-senior to come in for this game, and it seems like.
And he gets beat for that rebound there. And the follow-up, no good, and nice rebound there by John Brody.
Yeah, and we kind of noticed on the bench, the only 2 players, Derek David, Steven Tran, and Charlie Fisher.
David feeds Sterniak with the jumper.
Are the only players with their jerseys on the bench, which likely means that it could be that Matthew Sterniak is the only non-senior to play in this game. I mean, we'll see. Obviously, they can just take their shirts off pretty easily, but it seems like Coach Rollins doesn't plan to use maybe Jack Mullins, Will Moran, players we've seen earlier in the season, which makes sense considering that he's putting Charlie Fisher and Jacob Wasu in a more prominent role in the rotation today.
And I don't think he intended to play Sterniak either, because the body language of the bench, it seemed like more of a surprise as Sterniak was playing, given that Steven Tran's in foul trouble.
Yeah, I mean, he kind of looked surprised coming into the game, but I mean, it makes sense. Obviously, you don't want any of your players to foul out, because that will impact next game as well.
As I think Sterniak might have picked up his first right there.
Yeah, and again, we kind of talked turnovers, fouls. I mean, those are things you kind of unenforced errors, not unenforced, but those are the type of mistakes that need to be limited for Northside to continue to control the tempo of this game.
And the first free throw misses. That was number 11. That is Colby.
Yeah, and again, Ogden has proven that from the free throw line, besides Reynolds, and then honestly just anywhere besides driving to the paint, they're much weaker. And so I'd say honestly keep forcing him to do that, and by shooting more threes like Northside's strategy has been, and honestly just getting more rebounds.
And if Ogden was hitting these free throws, it would be a much closer game. But these offensive rebounds are really becoming an issue for the Mustangs, because
yeah, and usually we'd say with a minute left or so on the free throw here, but I mean usually Northside's the one who's leading on offensive rebounds. This is one of the few games we've seen where the other team has. And so it's going to be interesting to see if Northside can kind of reverse that and flip back to the usual script.
Your chair is pushing into me.
Oh my God.
Weird. And Derek David checks out of this game, and Esteban Vargas, I believe. No, Jacob Wassler is going to come into the game. So Derek David, obviously a rough shooting day for him, but he's done a really nice job stretching the floor for Northside.
Yeah, I mean, he's kind of going back into it, 2 shots in a row recently. And so I think he's finally into the rhythm that he was looking for.
Good box out there by Matthew Sterniak. Helped John Brody get the rebound. So under a minute left to play in this half. Brody and now Amir Arjumand. Esteban Vargas. He'll try a 3. He hits it. Esteban Vargas.
Yeah,
and Northside up by 5. They're their biggest lead of the day.
Esty was looking for that, obviously. A few shots early in the game that they should have gone in. But it's good to see him finally get on the board with that 3. And just kind of show that his effort and hustle is paying off.
Northside, it feels like with a lot of this momentum right now entering the end of the half. Let's see if they can cap off the half with another bucket. Sterniak driving.
20 seconds left. Oh,
And one.
what a play there by Owen Amir Arjumon. I mean, that's just great end-to-end play. Gets the rebound, goes passes to Vargas, and runs all the way down the court to get that ball and get that and one.
And Sterniak there with really nice vision, as he easily could have taken that himself, but it would have been a much tougher layup. So he chooses the unselfish play and gives it to Owen Amir Arjumon. So Northside now up by 7. What a turnaround, because for a while, Ogden were up by 3 or 4 most of the half, and Northside just pulled away here in the last couple of minutes of the half.
Yeah, for sure. And
Amir Arjumon's free throw, he hits it.
There you go. That's just same thing. 3-point play, same thing as a 3, and that's what Coach Johns is looking for. Now Ogden's down almost by double digits, down 8. And so for them, they're definitely looking. They need to stop going to the lane, which could mean problems for them.
As a reminder, at halftime, we will have a performance by Northside's Palm squad. Matthew Sterniak couldn't quite get a shot up in time, and that'll be the end of the half. 32-24, Northside leads. Final thoughts of the half, Pearson?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say for this Northside team, they're up by 8 points. Kind of flipped the first quarter. They looked a little bit shaky. Their offensive problems have kind of come out. And I would say that for the most part, it's pretty clear that this Northside team, the keys they need to do is just limit the unforced errors and then continue to try to get back to identity. They're playing great defense. It's more so just limiting those offensive rebounds for Ogden, and they've been getting plenty on their side, so it's not like it's that big of a problem, but then that will help them keep this lead as the Palms team kind of gets on the court here. We're going to switch the camera.
I'm doing my best with the timing, but the laptop keeps hanging.
As we're waiting for the camera to come back on for the Palms team, really quickly before we go to half, just shout out the team that we have here today. Obviously on tech, as always, producing is Alex Korn. Obviously, Alice Corder, Pearson Strangless here on the mic. We have Rian and Alice, Jonah, and Patrick all on stats. Damien just came to help as well. Amin Koyafua might be coming later, and maybe we'll have him on the mic as usual. And Ryan Feeney is on camera as always. So thank you for watching. Also, shout out to Miss Matthews. Thank you for watching. We saw your little comment there on the YouTube, so just a little shout out for you. And a little bit of hype up there for the Palms team. Obviously, they had their senior day with the girls and the cheer teams with their senior day today. And it's good to see them cheering on each other. It's gonna be different. Oh, never mind. Never mind.
We can't say anything.
job there from the Palms team. A little bit of a different routine. I mean, almost the same thing. It's just a little bit of change. Obviously, every week we kind of see a similar routine. So nice to see that they changed and updated some things ahead of their city championship tomorrow. Kenwood, I believe at 11 a.m. Sorry. So definitely make sure to show up just like you do for the basketball games. Miss Morgan and everyone's hoping to see you there.
And we'll have a video. We'll have a video of the performance up shortly after. So we hope you will watch that.
Yep, everything will be on socials, obviously at at NCP_TV on Instagram, and then obviously you're watching this on the NCP TV YouTube. Maybe we'll have something on Twitch or Twitter. I don't know. We barely use those; they don't really exist, but technically we have them. Same underscores as always. For any inquiries, email the ncptv@gmail.com. We'll be back for the second half shortly in about 5 minutes.
All right, we are back here for the second half of Northside versus Ogden. Northside lead 32-24. Thank you for joining us this evening. I'm Ellis Corda.
And I'm Pearson Stromquist. Yeah, again, Ellis, I mean, they have an 8-point lead here going into the second half. I mean, they definitely have control of this game, so honestly, it's just about keeping... I mean, it's easier said than done, but I mean, it's really just about keeping the tempo up, and then inherently that means they'll keep the lead up as well.
As Ogden will bring the ball up here into the corner for three, and it's airballed. Not a good start for the Owls. They were hoping to gain a little bit of momentum, and Reynolds couldn't hit the three. Three-pointer for Stephen Tran. He couldn't quite hit that. Offensive rebound once again. That was a bit of more of a kinder bounce off the basket for Northside. And Ogden looking to push pace. It's going to be a foul on Onamir Arjamon. So we're going to go to the line here. Once again, I think that'll be Reynolds.
And yeah, again, Reynolds is the one guy who's proven he's good from the free throw line and shooting. The rest of them, I mean, obviously...
Actually, this is Perry, but yeah.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. Well, I mean, Reynolds has proven really the only one. We'll see how Perry does here. I don't think we've seen him at the line yet. But for Reynolds, I mean, he's the one who's kind of been carrying them free throw line and just regular shooting that's not layups. So especially seeing that first air ball, it's going to be a little bit scary for the Owls to kind of try to get into a rhythm there with something they might not be as comfortable with and they might not have prepared for.
Perry's first free throw hits the rim, hits the back of the rim, and then goes in. And here's Perry's second free throw. It's short, offensive rebound. I think they're gonna... I don't know what the call is going to be there. Surprised there wasn't a tie-up call, but Stephen Tran comes away with the ball and gives it to Brody. Brody for three, and it's off.
Oh, wow, he got his own rebound.
Great rebound there. Reynolds lays it in over Derek David. Nice play there by Reynolds.
And again, that's where they're comfortable. If they can stop that from happening, getting those drives, that's what Coach Rollins talked about, it's going to be key for them. As
Derek David will inbound. I think they called a foul. And a substitution here for Ogden. Maseko Juarez comes in to the game, and checking out, I believe, is number 5.
That's Perry.
Deshaun Perry. Derek David gives it back to Arjamon. Arjamon now at the top of the key, looking for options, finds Stephen Tran. Tran, cross court to Derek David. Derek David fakes the three now, shoots it, and it's short. A rough shooting day for Derek David continues.
Yeah, but I mean, I'd say for Northside, I mean, even with a little bit of his struggles offensively, I'd say that, I mean, he still has points on the board. He's honestly, as a matter of fact, yeah, I believe he leads the team in points, actually. So, I mean, and comparatively, Derek David is leading this team offensively, and obviously in terms of leadership, there's no better person I can think of than him. Obviously, he is a senior leader as well as Esteban Vargas. So both of them have been key.
And the three there. So Ogden on a little bit of a run. It's only a 2-point game down from an 8-point game, so Northside are going to have to start scoring here. Derek David tries again from three, can't hit it this time either. Coach Rollins looking a little bit frustrated with Northside's shot selection here in the second half. And an acrobatic behind back layup won't fall. Arjamon to Tran.
Yeah,
now.
Northside just gets back in that rhythm. We talked about this earlier. Once they get into it, they stay in it. So it's going to be key. Until they do that, they're definitely going to struggle offensively, but they're still playing good defense, even among the 6-0 run. There's a steal there from Stephen Tran.
Tran goes quickly. Arjamon, little jumper, and it's off. Northside have not hit a shot yet in this second half.
Yeah, 6-0 run for the last 2 minutes.
And here comes Ogden again. Ogden, they found some more success offensively here. They've found some open guys, and they've been able to do some things offensively. So let's see if they can continue that here.
And Esteban Vargas got a hand on that. Good effort there.
That's going to be a tie-up. And let's see where the possession goes. See what's going to go Northside's way.
Possession arrow switches back now to the Owls. So next time any type of jump ball play happens, it will be going the Owls' direction.
And great defense there. Ogden haven't been able to have a shot in the last 3 possessions because of some stingy play by the Mustangs. Brody out to the corner. Back out to Derek David. Derek David
good pass.
Throws it inside, and a lot of great ball movement here. Let's see what shot they end up. Yeah, Vargas was open there. Brody trying to escape, and he's going to get fouled. So Northside didn't shoot, and in the end they got bailed out there. But obviously some beautiful ball movement.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it seems like that's the plan. Earlier, we didn't see as much passing going on. It was a lot of just finding that one pass, getting that shot up. Obviously, with the lead coach, Raj probably told them to take more time, find the open shot. I think that's a block there.
Yeah, Vargas' shot definitely got blocked because it was well short.
Someone blocked that. But yeah, I'd say
Some good defense there. Another double team trying to hang on to it, and
he does get a good try there from Onamir Arjumon. Again, like we said, defensively, he will be key for them. Just with that effort, again, like we keep highlighting, we keep talking about Onamir Arjumon and Esteban Vargas. I mean, honestly, this whole entire team of seniors are literally the key effort, they're the key facilitators, the key everything for this Northside team. And so on their senior day, hopefully all of their hard work pays off. I mean, it already has anyway with the conference championship and many great moments this season. So it's just good to see. Hopefully, oh, nice play there for Onamir Arjumon.
They're gonna say it's an offensive foul, I think, though. It looked like a nice finish, but I'm gonna call a foul. It's not very clear what happened there, actually. 23 will check out.
I think they just said he wasn't in the shooting motion.
Yeah.
So that was still a good play by Onamir Arjumon, but I think he really hit the ground before he could do anything. Good play there from Brody.
Yeah, Brody with a nice layup. Brody is definitely starting to emerge for Northside as a little bit more of one of their top performers tonight. I think that he's led the way in his minutes tonight.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, as always, we talk about Northside's defense is always good. They're always cohesive, and even offensively, they were making great passes. Just the shots weren't going down. So it's good to see kind of Brody take that lead. We talked about finding that one person on the team who would be that key player for them today, and especially with Steven Tran with a little bit of foul trouble and Derek David a little bit off today. It's good to see that they have the personnel and players to still gel and still be able to function and do well.
And Reynolds there with a really nice move as Luis Leon checks back into the game.
And Reynolds is at 16 points here for this Owls team, so I mean he
has half their points. Derek David, John Brody now. Back to Derek David. Here's Steven Tran. We do want to shout out all of the fans who came out tonight to support the Mustangs. It's a really full house. And the three by Brody is good. Or Amir Arjumon, apologies. But we do want to thank all the fans for coming out tonight. And
as a matter of fact, though, even though we love to see the support here, we care more about the fans who are listening right now. So shout out to you even more. Maybe a little bit of bias here. But obviously, it's just great to see everyone supporting the Mustangs, whether you're watching this, either playing it back on YouTube, watching it live, or just showing up to the games. It's really great to see that the community is still going strong, as always. And yeah, so Onamir Arjumon's basket there, that ended an 8-2 run for the first 5 minutes of this quarter. So it's good to see there Northside kind of getting back in that rhythm that we kind of talked about earlier.
And the thing is, too, there's not a whole lot more time left for, obviously 5 points is not a big deficit, but if Northside continue to, even if they're not scoring, continue to make it so difficult for Ogden to chip away at this deficit, I don't think that margin is going to change that quickly as Charlie Fisher checks back into the game.
And yeah, of course, Esteban Vargas. I mean, speaking of, we talked about this in other games. I talked to SD before the game. He told me about how Friday is his Taki day. His favorite thing in the world are Takis. And one of his pre-game rituals, I believe, or maybe it's after, honestly, I'm not even sure. Didn't specify, but he's all about Takis. And I think that definitely fuels his fuego here in this game and in any games that we have.
And another tie-up for us there by Northside.
And
this
if
time
you're
goes against
wondering
them.
what that random popping sound is, they had like a balloon thing there, obviously, at the start of the game for the cheerleaders and for the team here for their senior night. They're just randomly popping. No one's even stepping on them. I think they're just running out of air. Yeah, it's a nice little like ambiance, I guess, for this, adding it to the game. And I don't...
Kind of frighteningly loud pops, but...
I actually don't know how they're popping.
Yeah, the security guard's over there looking at it. He doesn't know what's happening, so we'll play on.
If y'all need like a timeout interview, I got you, all right?
And we're going to be speaking during the next timeout with Kevin Adu. We'll talk to him at the end of the break as the three is off the mark and rebounded there. Tipped up nicely.
Steven Tran.
And John Brody gets the ball right back. Here's Derek David.
That was a little mini tip-off almost. I felt like just like you kind of see him. Go Steven Tran! What a play by Steven Tran!
Really acrobatic layup and one. And Northside now lead by 5 points once again. Big time play for Steven Tran.
Yeah, and you see, you can't see it on the camera, but off camera, Andrew Myers is trying to get the balloons out of here as they keep popping randomly. I'm not sure.
And they're popping while he moves them out anyway. So they just keep They just keep going.
Yeah, I guess it's the villain of this game. But anyway, 2 minutes left. Obviously, Steven Tran goes for the N1 free throw. As that's number 22 coming on.
32. We don't have his name on our sheet, so we're not exactly sure who 32 is, but when we do figure it out, we will let you know. Tran's free throw? Tran obviously was looking for a moment as he hits his free throw. He'd been pretty quiet so far, but it seems like he's kind of broken out of that little rut that he was in.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a great acrobatic play, kind of hitting Reynolds back. Obviously, both of them are the key players for their respective teams, and finally we start to see some trading off.
And they're going to say that stays with Ogden. Northside weren't super happy about that call, but that's the call.
I mean, Northside retains a 6-point lead, minute 40 left. As long as they can still end this quarter with the lead, that's going to be really important for them.
Reynolds couldn't hit the three. They're going to have to hit some threes if they want to get back in this game.
Here's Brody for three.
That's it. I think that might be counted as a 2. No, it's going to be counted as a 3.
Yeah, and we've said this before. It's kind of a line we've had a lot. But unfortunately, it seems that Alonte Reynolds is no John Brody. We've kind of said a lot, especially trading back threes. And it's good to see them again, but it's a good play to get that steal on Steven Tran.
And Reynolds has it here. Reynolds drives and finishes.
I guess he heard me, Ellis.
Yup. Commentator's curse there is Alonte Reynolds with a real nice finish. He's had a lot of really nice layups so far in this game, and without Alonte Reynolds, they would not have been able to succeed in really any way so far this game, I would think.
Yeah, Northside still retains a 7-point lead.
Reynolds playing some tough defense, takes it away from John Brody. Reynolds lays it up and the foul. Wow. Reynolds just goes and scores 4 points right in a row. So it's a game again. It was 9 points before, now a chance to get within 4.
Yeah, and you can see, Coach Rollins is very, very upset with the team. He can't be seeing.
And Coach Rollins showing some frustration, and I think the bench of Ogden wanted to attack. They don't call attack, but interesting there from the refs.
Yeah, it's kind of unclear. Rollins is just kind of telling his team, listen, these are unacceptable fouls to be giving. Obviously Reynolds is their key player, but at the same time, you can't be sending him to the line because now they only have a 5-point lead. If he makes the free throw, it's going to be 4, and he does.
And that's the kind of play, too, where you know he's going to make the layup because he's their star player. So sometimes you just don't want to foul. You just want to give him that layup, right?
During the game. Let me put in the top right corner.
I think bottom. Oh, yeah.
Is that your phone?
Yeah.
I'm just saying because then we can interview him with the game. there. Oh, I think we're back. Yeah. There was a little bit of a tech issue there. Somehow we have a split camera or something from the mic feed. It doesn't matter though. I think the main video feed should still be going. And refs are calling something. I think there's just confusion how many fouls Matthew is at. I think he's at 2 right now. Yeah, like we were trying to say, a momentum changer there. I mean, yes, they kind of had a few shots that started, Wasu obviously, but then for Strene to hit that next one, coming in as like the one on senior, that's really huge.
Jared David with the steal, now taking it fast. Esteban Vargas is going to step out of bounds, and it's going to be a travel. So some nice transition play by Northside, just couldn't end up handling a strong pass. But they lead by 11 here, and
I think it was just, I think Vargas should step up.
yeah. So they lead by 11, and I think Reynolds is definitely going to need to step up, and other people too, because it's all been Reynolds so far tonight, as layup in the lane is good. So it's a 9-point game now.
That was the person we were talking about earlier. That's Antra and Bolton. He hasn't had much time in this game, even though he's a key player.
And a foul there. They were trying to guard Matthew Cerniak. That's going to be foul number 3. That is
Reynolds. That's
Reynolds.
huge, Ellis. I think Reynolds now is at 3 fouls. So he doesn't have to come out of the game, but I mean, that's going to be huge if they can kind of get Reynolds to kind of keep getting in some foul trouble, because if he ends up out of this game, I can't really see how Ogden can come back.
And from a defensive end, like, Reynolds is definitely going to have to loosen up some of his defense on Steven Tran. So Steven Tran can, if they give the ball to Steven Tran, try to force a foul.
David for 3.
He got it.
Yeah,
Derek David hits.
Kind of got the equivalent of an ice a kicker almost with that kind of foul call right before he made a 3 that was waved off. But then right again there, he just proves that didn't even matter.
That's almost a turnover for Ogden. Northside end up keeping the ball here. So they're going to call a timeout, and Northside with a big lead. We'll be right back after this. Yeah, we'll call it.
So I'm here with senior Kevin Adu. Obviously, Kevin, it's kind of tough being in that concussion protocol, but I mean, it's still a great senior day so far. I mean, what do you have to say about the guys? I mean, you've been a great season.
This is amazing, man. This is all I've ever wanted to see. Steven, Jacob, Owen, what goes on and on. All these guys just playing their hearts out, trying to get this one this year night.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I mean, what do you think they can do to close it out? What do you think they need to do?
Just keep playing the way they've been playing. They've been playing fast, getting the open shot, playing defense, getting rebounds. If they continue to do that, they'll win this game.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And I have one more question. I mean, you think you're going to be back for Monday?
Yeah.
Yeah? All right, bet. We can't wait to see you, bro. All right. As we're back, that was a nice little interview there with Kevin Adu. And that's a 3, no good there. That's number 2. That's Andre Bottom.
So Northside will have the ball now. Northside up by 12 here, as Derek David is going to get the ball off the inbound from Steven Tran.
And yeah, we had a little bit of technical difficulty starting the interview, but luckily we got it up. Again, just a quick shout out to our broadcasting team, as we kind of have a slow going down the court from Derek David. Obviously, as always, Vice President of the club, Alex Korn, is producing and on tech. Ryan Feeney on camera. Me and Ellis, obviously, on the mic as always. Then on stats, we have Patrick Moran, Alice Chaudhry, Damian Marvia, Jonah Halloran, and Rian here. Who's
Derek David. Sorry, go ahead.
And yeah, so it's just really great to see all these guys come in. We also had Ryan Schubeck and a couple other people come and show up and helped out throughout the game. Obviously, if you are interested in joining the club, you can just shoot me an email at pstrandquis@cbs.edu, or you can email our business email, thencptv@gmail.com. Either one works. We'd love to have more members. Obviously, we've given a lot of people opportunities to speak and like be on the broadcast, and so we're always hoping to get new voices and kind of allow underclassmen and other people to get experience.
Derek David for 3, not quite that time. And they're going to call a foul. And that's on Reynolds. That's Reynolds' 4th foul, so that's huge for Ogden.
And yeah, I mean,
that's just about it, probably.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, if Reynolds fouls out here, it's going to be very, very, very hard, as we talked about. And I agree with Kev. Obviously, we talked to him during that timeout, and a good basket there from Matthew Sterniak.
And I mean, immediately right there, Matthew Sterniak is now on Reynolds. So Reynolds is just, he's not even going to the other half of the court. So he's staying back with Sterniak. So Sterniak is trying to provoke Reynolds, trying to draw a foul against Reynolds. That's what Northside want, right? They want Reynolds to foul out of this game because there's nobody else in Ogden who have shown that they can beat Northside. Sterniak, another easy chance, but couldn't finish that one. A tough roll.
Good steal there from Esteban Vargas.
Derek David hits. That's about it, probably. It's now 60-43, 17-point game. This is starting to get out of hand.
Yeah, and I don't think there's any offensive problems there from Derek David anymore. It's kind of gotten into a rhythm this 4th quarter. Honestly, the whole team has, and there's another basket there.
Really nice layup. But
yeah, I mean, great game from Rolante Reynolds, 24 points. But, I mean, I don't think it's going to be enough here. Obviously, as Steven Tran just gets another bucket. And as Kevin said, I mean, this is like the dream game for them for senior night. All of their guys are gelling. ST, Steven, John Brody,
Tran for 3.
Charlie Fisher, Derek David, Owen Mirajman, all of them just playing great game. Then Matthew Sterniak coming in here and still just bringing out off the bench good energy as someone who didn't even expect to play this game. So honestly,
and everything is falling right now, and a lot of frustration there for Reynolds. Reynolds, he's up at 3, and he can't finish that one, but it looked like he was very frustrated, and it's not going the way of Ogden right now.
And there's number 12. It's the first time we're going to see Jaman Hanimus. And he's coming in for, I believe that's number 5, so that's Deshaun Perry coming off.
And then Antran Bolton will also check back into the game, so there goes Luis Leon.
And yeah, I mean, Luis Leon had a good, strong first half. He's been very quiet the second half. I mean, you have to feel for Rolante Reynolds a little bit. I mean, he's been carrying this team, and they kind of haven't been bringing back the same effort that he has. And it looked like there's a little bit of like a hit there on Matthew Sterniak. I would not be surprised if the refs called tech on one of those Ogden players that was.
There's going to be a 30-second timeout here as Ogden are going to take a timeout, and they're going to have a little bit of a conference with the coach as potentially a little bit of a testy exchange here.
And yeah, no technical foul there. I mean, obviously Matthew Sterniak's doing a good job of trying to provoke this Ogden team. At the same time, though, you want to see good sportsmanship here. And so with this big of a lead from Northside, at the same time as much you want to just keep playing hard, you also have to consider being up this much, a little less showmanship, a little more just kind of taking it slow. It doesn't mean you shouldn't be taking the shots. Doesn't mean it's your senior night. You should be balling out. But at the same time, you don't want to see any like fight brewing out for no reason that could jeopardize anything that happens in their Monday important IHSA playoff game.
For sure. As both teams seem to be a little bit calmer now coming out of this timeout, and it seems like it'll be unchanged for both sides who's going to be in here. Just under 4 minutes left to play in this one. Northside up by 19 over Ogden. It started out pretty close first half, but Northside have just kind of run away with the game here in this 4th quarter. So Matthew Sterniak is still on Reynolds. Sterniak guarding Reynolds extremely closely, even on the inbounds, just not letting him have any chances whatsoever. Reynolds has the ball here and gives it away. Let's see if they give it back, or nice little layup into the lane. Wouldn't fall, but Andre Bottom will go to the line, and he will shoot 2.
And Esteban Vargas taking credit for that. He knows it was a little unnecessary. But I mean, overall great game from all these seniors. Again, like shouting all of them out: Steven Tran, Esteban Vargas, Derek David, Jacob Wassilu, Onamir Arjman, Charlie Fisher, and then obviously John Brody and Kevin Adu. unfortunately he's out for the game. Like we said, it's good to hear from him that he's going to be back on Monday. He's out of that protocol. I think his concussion technically is already over. It's more so of a CPS rule where it has to be a certain amount of time. But I think he's been ruled healthy already by the trainers for Northside. So I think he will be all good to go for that Monday game. Again, we'll be on the mic at 7 p.m.
Tran for three, in and out. The crowd was ready to erupt if that landed in, but unfortunately couldn't quite get it to fall for Steven Tran.
And Arjuman's coming in for...
A little bit of confusion. Northside have too many guys out there on the court right now. They need somebody to check out, and Esteban Vargas will check out.
I think Owen was trying to get Matthew Sterniak to come up, but I don't think he realized it's good for Vargas just to have the court awareness, not to get an unnecessary foul or tech.
Sterniak for three, he hits it. Shows them why he wanted to stay in the game.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, again, Sterniak did not expect to play in this game, but he has definitely shown up for this team. I mean, as we talked about,
just a lot of points and a lot of really big plays.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Derek Davis covered with him, John Brody's led it, Matthew Sterniak obviously coming here with good presence, Esteban Vargas, Jacob Waslu, all have been playing key for this team.
And certainly you have to think next year Matthew Sterniak is going to have a really big presence on that team.
Oh, for sure. I mean, next year it's going to be really big, honestly, for him to step up, as well as Jack Nolan, Will Moran. Some of these players who were on varsity this year are definitely going to have to, Isaac Adewale, Felix Litwinski are going to have to take a big role next year. I mean, it's going to be a tough task to stay up in that red conference. I mean, that is the goal, obviously.
Amir Arjman for three, couldn't quite hit it. But yeah, the red conference, an extremely challenging conference, probably one of the most difficult in Illinois.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's definitely going to be competitive. You have state-ranked teams, obviously, the Whitneys of the world, people who are producing college players. At the same time, if they do show up, it's going to be very key for them in the sense that that's where the college scouts are as well. And so it could be some extra opportunities for sure. And just even showcasing what you can do. So I'd say for this Northside team, I definitely believe in them. Obviously, I won't be here next year. And a lot of us won't be here for NCUA TV, but I trust that you're going to be seeing a good team next year, Alice.
For sure. Yeah, we're very excited to continue coverage next year and just pick up right where Pearson has taken the club and right where the club has left off. Yeah. Obviously, though, several more months of the school year, several more months of content that we can produce, so we're very excited to see all that.
We're going to be putting out a ton of different content. Obviously, you already saw some track and field posts. We'll be having men's, women's lacrosse, women's soccer. Obviously, the reigning city champions, so definitely we're going to be focusing on them a lot.
We'll have men's tennis as well.
Yeah, for sure. And then obviously
water polo
men's
too.
Water polo as well.
Just name a sport and we'll have the coverage this season for it.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously coming out this, like we said, one more just to reiterate, a few things coming up. We'll have some content from the Palm City Championship. That is tomorrow. I think it's Palms and Cheer as well. That's at Kenwood Academy at 11 a.m. Obviously, Northside is like 4 times in a row reigning city champions. They are the team to beat. So definitely come out to support the girls there, obviously. Unfortunately, the girls basketball team was in the regional championship against Grays Lake. Unfortunately, they weren't able to get it done that game on Thursday, but still just great effort. Congratulations to them on a great season for getting there. They stayed up in the top conference. So we'll be seeing them again, both the men's and the women's teams next year in the top conferences in the city.
Very exciting for Northside. As a timeout here, it is currently 69-53 with just above 2 minutes left in this senior day. So Northside are going to get the win here unless something extraordinary happens for Ogden. So a great way to finish off their senior day with a victory, and very excited for these guys to, get to end off the regular season on a high note.
Yeah, and there's some crowd interaction with the cheerleaders. I don't know if it's a shirt. I don't actually know what they're throwing. It's a shoe. Okay. Well, Alex told me it's a shoe. It appears that there's some sort of shoe throwing game. That's just a fun thing, I guess. I think it's the Palms team and the cheer team kind of getting a little bit together. With 2 minutes left, obviously, this game is basically wrapped. Yeah, I mean, just a great senior night all around. Everyone played a role. Hopefully, we're going to be getting some interviews after the game. I believe Coach Rollins is probably going to give a speech, and then hopefully after that, we're going to hopefully get it maybe on the broadcast instead of afterwards posting. We'll see what happens. It depends what the coaching staff wants to do. But either way, just a great showing from Northside, and it's really glad to see them kind of take control here for their senior day.
Derek David nails a three. Northside, 72 points. Easily probably the most points that they've scored this season, I think.
Yeah, I think besides that one game against Chicago Academy, similar thing. where their star player kind of carried the team. There was nothing else. Kind of similar level. I guess you can see that for Ogden Academy might be one of the teams that they do face more often next year. So I mean, maybe that's a connection that we didn't even think of.
Oh, what a block there. Owen Amir Arjman absolutely blocked there by Alante Reynolds. He is not done with his contributions yet tonight.
Yeah, I mean, Alante Reynolds, obviously, he is their star player. I'm not sure if he's a junior or senior, didn't specify, but either way, I mean, he is their key player. He's definitely had a very strong showing tonight. But at the same time, Northside is the better team, and they've proven that.
3 for Waslu, couldn't quite hit that, but he's had a really nice game.
That's another bucket there from, like we said, Alante Reynolds. Now he's at 28 points. Just a great game from him, along with he has 6 rebounds as well as 6 assists. So, I mean, great game for him. But again, it just hasn't been enough. Northside usually, maybe Steven Tran, John Brody, Owen Amir Arjman leading the way. Obviously, Derek David as well. A more balanced attack here today. We saw Jacob Wasty get into a rhythm. Derek David finally got in a rhythm as well. Steven Tran got out a little funk. So everyone's kind of been contributing. And so, yeah, obviously Charlie Fisher checked in as well, so he'll be in hopefully till the end of the game.
And a little bit of a run here now with 1 minute on the dot to play. And it's just a 13-point game, so obviously it's too little too late, but it looks like Ogden are going to try to finish with a little bit of momentum as Northside have kind of quickened the pace a little bit and just been trying to work in transition a little bit more. Just having some fun.
And they're also just trying to extend this lead even more. I mean, at the end of the day, a 13-point lead isn't unheard of, and Steven Tran just burned the entire team and couldn't finish, but Owen Amir Arjman there with the offensive rebound gets that bucket. And yeah, I'd say officially with a 15-point lead, it doesn't really matter what Ogden does.
And a hard foul there on John Brody, but he looks to be all right. So
yeah, it's gonna be a blocking. It's gonna be a blocking foul there. I was surprised they didn't. I thought they might call a charge on that, but they argued that he was moving, and so. And actually, I believe they're the bonus, so they will be going to the line for that as well.
46 seconds left in this game, and I think John Brody just fouled out, so he's very excited about that over on the bench. First free throw misses, but obviously this is our last super major broadcast of the season. We're going to be broadcasting Northside's playoff game on Monday, but I don't think we're going to have quite as large of a team there most likely. So I just want to give a shout out to all of the seniors and everybody who makes this club possible. Thank you to Pearson and Alex, the president and vice president. They've done such a fantastic job starting this club and just taking it to new heights. So thank you to those guys.
Well, we appreciate it, Alex. 40 seconds left. I mean, yeah, this game is a wrap. 13-point lead. But Northside's probably just looking out to finish on a strong note. I think Coach Rollins gave them the okay to do something special.
Charlie Fisher couldn't quite hit the shot, but they get the rebound though.
Charlie Fisher!
He couldn't quite get it either. They're giving it back to him. They want Charlie Fisher to score, and I think he got fouled. 20 seconds left. Northside up 74-61, and it looks like an injury on the other end of the court. I think that might be Reynolds.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like his hustle and grit finally got the best of him there.
He looks to be in a good amount of pain, too.
Yeah, Northside assistant athletic director Andrew Myers there to help him. I think he's the physio on duty for today. Yeah, that's just a tough. It was unclear what happened.
We didn't see it. We were looking down at the other end.
And it appears to be some sort of, his legs are moving, which might mean it's some sort of injury in the rib or abdomen area. So hopefully it's okay. It could have just been a hard fall, rather.
As Reynolds will get up under his own power, so good to see that. Glad he seems like he's going to be all right. Looks like he just had a pretty hard fall, but...
And yeah, it just, Andrew Meyer just gave us a thumbs up, so yeah, I think he will be okay.
And the coach right now for Ogden is a little bit frustrated at the referee. We'll see what happens with this.
The Ogden team is not even mad at Northside. They're more so mad at the refs who didn't stop the game, and I can totally understand that. I mean, when there's a player who's kind of hurting, you kind of have to. That's the IHSA rules. And it's surprising because we kind of talked about how the refs with 3 teams might be a better ref team, but there's been a lot of interesting calls on both sides. But again, we're not here to criticize the refs. Obviously, we support IHSA, all the rules.
Leon couldn't hit the 3. Rebounded by Wassel. He goes long to Fisher. Fisher! He hit it! And the Jimmer! Charlie Fisher gets his bucket. And 3 seconds left. The 3, no good. And a rebound. That's game. Northside win on senior day. 76-61 is the final score. The Mustangs pick up the win. They will be back in action on Monday night to face off against North Chicago in the playoffs. That'll be at 7 o'clock at Northside. We hope you will join us for that one.
Yeah, for sure. And honestly, just a great all-around effort. I mean, love to see the team just kind of rallying behind the team. There was a little bit of confusion, a little bit of frustration at the end from Ogden's side, but at the end of the day, good sportsmanship. They were just happy to be here, happy to play, happy to play a now red conference team, actually, because with the playoffs, officially, they are technically up to the red conference. No more conference play for the rest of the season. And so congratulations to both teams on a great season. Also, I guess we can shout out Jamon Hanames, who kind of hit a shot there at the end. It didn't end up counting. But maybe if there are any Ogden viewers, he might be someone to watch next year. Either way, though, for Northside, it's a great all-around game. Love to see that all the seniors got a bucket. Charlie Fisher at the end of the game getting his bucket. And so, yeah, everyone contributed. Everyone was here, and just a great all-around senior day, Ellis. Obviously, I just shout out our entire team one more time. Obviously, we have Alex Corin producing. We have Ryan Feeney on camera. I'll give him a little wave here. We have Jonah Halloran, Alice Chaudhry, Amin Fuwa, Patrick Moran, Damian Maravilla. A few other guys came in and out here today. So thank you to everyone who's kind of helped out. Thank you to everyone who supports NCP TV.
Thank you to Ms. Matthews once again for the shout out.
Oh yeah, for sure. #1 viewer in our hearts. But we'd say, yeah, just great overall game, 76-61. Commending win for Northside to bring that momentum into their next game. I guess final thought, what do you have to say?
I mean, just a great win for Northside. We're very excited to see what happens on Monday night. And, these seniors have had a great career here. And just happy for them that they could celebrate their senior day with the win with such awesome festivities.
And again, just thank you to the coaching staff. Can I have the program?
Yeah, thank you to the coaching staff for Northside.
Thank you to, obviously, led by head coach Matt Rollins, the assistant coaches Ivan Zayas, Michael Fershinger, and Coach Brody, John Brody's dad. So thank you to all that. We do kind of have to end. A few of us have to go to the musical to work stage crew. But yeah, just a great overall game. Thank you for watching NCP TV. As always, I'm Pearson Strangquist.
I'm Ellis Corda. Good night.